Welcome to Fearen Reacts. I have a couple of mysterious and strange places in America to show. So, without further ado, let's get to the video. And if you like, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get to it.
Should ever visit, the last one will blow your mind. Number 1. The Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky was a tuberculosis hospital where over 60,000 people died in horrific conditions between 1910 and 1961. The hospital had a body chute tunnel where they secretly removed hundreds of corpses to hide the death toll from living patients, and visitors report seeing shadow figures, hearing screams, and feeling physically pushed by invisible forces. Room 502 is considered the most haunted spot where a nurse allegedly hanged herself, and paranormal investigators refuse to stay there alone after experiencing violent supernatural activity. Number 2. Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia was one of America's most brutal prisons, where inmates were tortured through solitary confinement, some spending decades alone in tiny cells going completely insane. Guards would chain prisoners to walls, douse them in freezing water in winter, and use the mad chair that strapped inmates down for days until their limbs went numb. The prison is now abandoned, but visitors report hearing whispers, seeing figures in cells, and feeling sudden temperature drops. Even the staff refuse to enter certain cell blocks alone at night. Before I say the last one, make sure you hit that follow button to support the channel. Number 3. The LaLaurie Mansion in New Orleans was home to socialite Madame Delphine LaLaurie, who tortured and murdered dozens of enslaved people in her attic in the 1830s. When a fire broke out, responders discovered a chamber of horrors with people chained to walls, some with their mouths sewn shut, others experimented on in grotesque medical procedures. The house is considered so violently haunted that multiple owners have fled within weeks. Actor Nicolas Cage owned it briefly and sold it quickly, and locals say you can still hear screaming coming from inside even though it's been empty for years.
If you're new here, I usually talk about some pretty scary stuff, but this is different. These are the most haunted lakes in the USA, and the truth behind them is way darker than you were told. Yo, let's start with Lake Lanier in Georgia. It's built over sunken towns, homes, and even graveyards. More than 700 people have been unalived here, and survivors report ghost hands pulling them underwater. The government admits the graves were never moved, and one of the lake's most well-known spirits, the Lady of the Lake, a woman seen drifting above the surface in a blue dress, missing her hands. Now, let's talk about Lake Tahoe. Divers have discovered fully intact bodies at the bottom, perfectly preserved in the icy water. There are real mob connections here, and some believe it was a dumping ground. And lately, boaters have reported phantom ships silently gliding across the lake and vanishing on approach. Next up, Flathead Lake in Montana. The Salish tribe has legends of a massive serpent lurking beneath, and in recent years, glowing orbs have been seen dancing across the surface at night. Tourists claim to feel watched or report hearing voices just before they're disappearing. And this is according to the Travel Channel's Haunted Lakes of the West. If you've ever been to these lakes, especially Lake Lanier, Lake Tahoe, or Flathead, or maybe one of the other haunted lakes in the country, drop a comment. Travelers, locals, we really want to hear your stories. Have you seen anything strange? Comment what happened to you and where. And make sure you hit that follow button right now if you want more of the most haunted places in America. This is just the beginning, but most people scroll past stories like this. Not you though, you're still here, so hit the follow button because the next one might be where you're headed next. Y'all, if you made it to the end of the video, drop a water emoji down in the comment section.
Do y'all know how fucked up a town gotta be for birds not to be flying? It is 100% silent. You won't see or hear no animals at all, even insects. You can't even tour this motherfucker. There's even been shadows of all different shapes and sizes walking around in the forest. And a lot of people come up missing when they go to this motherfucker. This is the most haunted town in America. It is called the Dudley Town, located in Connecticut. The town became haunted after the Dudley family moved to Connecticut after one of their family members was executed for plotting on King Henry VIII. King Henry VIII executed between 57,000 to 72,000 people, and even 2 of them were his wives. So what in the hell was dude thinking? Why fuck with a real boss, a real king? Now it is unknown exactly what caused the fucking curse. Dudley Town is heavily surrounded by the police because people keep sneaking in and they fucking dying when they go. This place is not worth the fucking fame. Your life is more valuable. Have a nice day.
The 3 most haunted locations in the USA never visit if you want to stay alive. Number 3, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, West Virginia. This Gothic-style asylum was built in 1864 and housed thousands of mentally ill patients, many of whom were subjected to cruel treatments such as lobotomies, electroshock therapy, and ice water baths. Paranormal investigators have reported seeing apparitions, hearing voices, and feeling cold spots in the asylum. Number 2, the LaLaurie Mansion, New Orleans, Louisiana. This French Quarter mansion was the home of Madame LaLaurie, a socialite who tortured and killed enslaved people in her attic in the early 19th century. When a fire broke out in 1834, the police discovered the horrific scene and a mob stormed the house, forcing LaLaurie to flee to France. People claimed to hear the screams of her victims and see their ghostly forms in the house. Before revealing the number 1, remember to subscribe and like the video. Number 1, the Stanley Hotel, Estes Park, Colorado. This grand hotel, built in 1909, is famous for inspiring Stephen King's novel, The Shining. The hotel is said to be haunted by the ghosts of its original owners, F.O. and Flora Stanley, who can be seen playing the piano, moving furniture, and flickering lights.
These are the 3 scariest places in America you probably didn't know exist. Number 3, the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, the real inspiration for The Shining. Number 2, Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky. People still hear whispers in the halls. Number 1, the Villisca ex-murder house in Iowa. Visitors say toys move on their own. Which one creeps you out most?
From a prison for the undead to a theater that makes scary movies look like cartoons, we go to Decatur, Illinois. On North Main Street, there looms a century-old vaudeville theater with a massive stage, ornate ceilings, and grand balcony. Perfect for a night of entertainment or horror. Enter the legendary Lincoln Theater, the most haunted theater in the country.
The Lincoln Theater is not only probably the most haunted theater in the country, but it's probably one of the most haunted places in general in the entire country. I've been able to document, going back all the way to 1930, people who claim they encountered ghosts in the theater, and those stories have continued all the way up until today. It's just one of those places that really just sort of defies explanation.
It's no wonder this place is crawling with creepy ghosts. The site itself has a long history of horror. According to legend, the town of Decatur is built on an old Native American burial ground. And the Lincoln Theater itself was constructed on the ashes of the Decatur Arcade Hotel, which burned to the ground in 1915, killing an unknown number of people.
A year later, the Lincoln Theater opens exactly on that site. And I honestly think that some of those ghosts may be left over from that hotel, especially those people who were just simply burned up, their bodies never buried. This theater was built, I guess you would say, right on their gravesite. It opened as a vaudeville theater, a live performance theater, and became known as probably one of the finest theaters anywhere in the Midwest for vaudeville. A lot of performers who were big name at the time came through. Jeanette MacDonald, Al Jolson played here, Bob Hope played here at the Lincoln.
After thriving for 60 years, the Lincoln was boarded up for a decade. A major renovation in 1990 restored the theater to its original glory. And when they threw open the doors again, the ghosts from the Lincoln storied past were waiting in the wings.
I've been here for 9 years. There are some strange things that happen in here that nobody can really explain. We've heard the curtains sound like they're open and closed and they haven't moved.
One of the legends concerns the balcony section where we're sitting now. People sit down here in the auditorium, can look up here and see shapes and figures wandering through the auditorium, one of which is a ghostly woman who sits down here and watches the play. Sometimes they don't see her at all, Sometimes they just see the chair as it's sitting here and someone's sitting in it watching it play down on the stage. That freaked me out just a little bit, yeah.
But if you want a seriously spooky encounter in the Lincoln Theater, pay a visit to the spiral staircase located behind stage left.
The spiral staircase located here in the back corner of the Lincoln Theater stage has always been regarded as the theater's most haunted spot. 12 years ago or so, I came here with a news crew, and the cameraman asked me if I wanted to climb up to the top of this spiral staircase to do a little filming from the top. We filmed everything that we needed to, and as we were getting ready to come down the stairs, we heard the sounds of someone following us up the staircase. I mean, very clearly, hard-soled shoes on a metal staircase kind of winding their way up to where we were standing.
Assuming the footsteps belonged to the news crew's reporter, the cameraman shone a light down the steps to help guide her up the dark staircase.
Well, he shouted down to her, is that enough light? Can you see? Well, she answered, but, probably 30 yards away from where we were at. At that point, the cameraman pushed me out of the way, literally ran.
Did you know that one of America's most haunted houses isn't just a Hollywood creation? The real Conjuring house in Rhode Island has a history so terrifying that it makes the movie look like a bedtime story. Picture this, it's 1971, and the Fearen family moves into their dream farmhouse, completely unaware they're about to live through a nightmare. The previous owner had warned them, leave the lights on at night. If only they knew why. Within days, they started experiencing things that would make your skin crawl. The smell of rotting flesh would appear out of nowhere. Their beds would shake violently at 3 a.m. Their daughter would sleepwalk to the same spot every night, staring at an invisible presence. But here's the creepiest part. Research revealed that 8 generations of families had died there under mysterious circumstances. And the land's original owner? A woman named Bathsheba Sherman, who was accused of being a witch and sacrificing an infant to Satan in the 1800s. Even today, visitors report seeing dark shadows, hearing children's laughter when no kids are around, and feeling invisible hands touch them. Would you dare spend a night in the real Conjuring house? I know I wouldn't.
These aren't ghost stories. These places have real deadly histories. Here are 7 of the creepiest spots in the USA. Salem, Massachusetts, where 20 innocent people were executed during the 1692 witch trials. Fear and hysteria destroyed lives and tore a town apart. Centralia, Pennsylvania. Centralia's coal mine fire has burned underground since 1962. Toxic gas and sinkholes forced almost everyone to abandon the town. It's a ghost town with deadly real reasons. Alcatraz Island, California. Alcatraz, the prison no one was supposed to escape. Harsh conditions, brutal guards, and deadly escape attempts made this island infamous. Manson Family Ranch, California. The Manson family's sinister home, where Charles Manson and his cult planned horrific murders that shocked the nation forever. Packard Plant, Detroit. The Packard plant in Detroit, once a booming car factory, now abandoned and overrun by crime. Trespassers risk serious danger in this decaying industrial graveyard. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, West Virginia. This asylum housed thousands under inhumane conditions. Stories of abuse and neglect haunt its halls. Real suffering, no supernatural needed. The Slaughterhouse, Chicago. Chicago's Union Meatpacking Plant was a brutal workplace where accidents and labor conflicts were common. A dangerous, grim chapter in industrial history. Call to action, which one would you never step foot in? Comment below and follow for more real crime and dark history.
These towns were once full of life. Now they're frozen in time, and nobody really talks about why. In Centralia, Pennsylvania, a coal fire has burned underground since 1962. Smoke still seeps from cracked streets, and most residents fled, except a few who stayed. In Alabama, Cahaba is full of ruins and riverbank whispers people say don't belong to the living. Rhyolite, Nevada died overnight, leaving behind crumbling walls and statues in the desert. Body, California is frozen in the 1800s. Meals still sit on tables. They say if you take anything, a curse follows you. In Helltown, Ohio, the government forced everyone out, removed signs, and left behind strange churches and roads to nowhere. In In Alaska, Kennecott is a snow-covered mining town with silent machines still standing. In the Smoky Mountains, Elkmont's rotting cabins sit deep in the forest, where visitors swear they're being watched. And in Connecticut, Dudleytown, the village of the damned, was abandoned after residents vanished or went mad. It's now completely off limits.
Top 5 haunted places in America. Welcome back to the Halloween special, part 2 of 3. We're going nationwide for this one. Number 5, Eastern State Penitentiary, Pennsylvania. Once the most feared prison in the country, now guards and inmates are seen walking the tiers long after lights out. Number 4, the Stanley Hotel, Colorado inspiration for The Shining. Guests report typewriters clicking on their own and ghostly laughter in the halls. Number 3, Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Kentucky thousands died here during the tuberculosis outbreak, and the death tunnel still echoes with screams. Number 2, the Queen Mary, California. This ocean liner carried the dead during wartime. Now visitors hear footsteps on decks that should be empty. Number 1, the Winchester Mystery House, California. Staircases to nowhere, doors into walls, built to confuse the spirits that haunted its owner. They say she never escaped them. From prisons to haunted mansions, America's ghosts are restless tonight. Drop a skull if you'd visit any of these. And stay tuned for part 3, the most haunted places in the world.
One of the most haunted locations in the USA is the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. Built in 1909 by Freelan Oscar Stanley, this grand hotel has become infamous for its paranormal activity and eerie occurrences. Its notoriety surged after it inspired Stephen King to write The Shining, following his stay in room 217, where he reportedly had disturbing dreams. The Stanley Hotel's ghostly reputation is rooted in numerous accounts of unexplained phenomena. Guests and staff frequently report seeing the apparitions of Mr. Stanley and his wife, Flora, in various parts of the hotel. Flora is often seen or heard playing the piano in the ballroom, her music echoing through the halls. Another famous spirit is that of a former housekeeper, Elizabeth Wilson, who haunts room 217. Guests staying in this room have experienced their belongings being mysteriously unpacked and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. One of the most unsettling areas of the hotel is the concert hall, where the spirit of a former worker named Paul is said to linger. Visitors have heard whispers of "get out" late at night, and some have even felt an invisible hand touch them. The 4th floor, especially rooms 401, 407, and 428, is notorious for ghostly children running and laughing in the corridors. The Stanley Hotel embraces its haunted status, offering ghost tours and paranormal investigations, drawing thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts from around the world. Its combination of historical elegance and supernatural intrigue makes it a chilling yet fascinating destination, cementing its place as one of America's most haunted locations. Like and follow for more haunting facts.
Thank y'all for joining me for these scary moments. And I think I'm gonna get out of here because I'm kind of scared for real. Thank y'all. And if you'd like to be on